Chapter 71 Total Destruction. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Wang Yuyan heard Yuan Changqing's instructions, she immediately activated her soul skills, and Yuan Changqing's soul skills followed closely behind. The fourth soul skill, Changling's Mystery. The fifth soul skill, Sword of Ice. On the side of the evil soul master and Catherine were fighting inextricably. Yuan Changqing and Wang Yuyan also accelerated their efforts to deal with the evil soul master here. Not to be outdone, the evil soul masters launched their soul skills one after another and attacked Yuan Changqing and the others. The fifth soul skill, Flower Blood Devouring. The sixth soul skill, Flower Thorn Link. This is a man-eating flower soul emperor. Seeing that Yuan Changqing is not weak, he also launches the strongest soul attack. The sixth soul skill, Blue Silver Diamond Shield. Yuan Changqing launched a defense, and other evil soul masters also began to attack. The third soul skill, the Parasitism of Blood-Sucking Insects. The fourth soul skill, Blood Monkey Poison Claw. The fifth soul skill, the Poison of the Blood Python. The martial spirits of these evil soul masters are also different, and their attacks are also fatal. If you are accidentally attacked, you will be in trouble. Yuan Changqing and Wang Yuyan cooperated and used soul skills one after another to deal with it. The sixth soul skill, Blue Silver Diamond Shield. The fifth soul skill, Electric Light Dulong Diamond. The third soul skill, Cold Air Invasion. As some of the evil soul masters died, the evil soul masters here attacked more fiercely, and the attacks from both sides became more intense. The sixth soul skill, Double Wing Slash. There was a scream, but the leader of the evil soul master had his arm cut off by Catherine and fell from the air. Metal's attack power was already strong, so of course the Blood Bat Soul Saint was no match for the same Soul Saint. The fifth soul skill, Spiral Strangulation. Catherine didn't wait for the evil soul master leader to react, and used her soul skills to attack directly. There was another shrill scream. The leader of the evil soul master quickly called to his subordinates and said, "Come and help me, I am no match on my own." The evil soul master who attacked Yuan Changqing and the two wanted to send people over to help, but was naturally stopped. The fourth soul skill, Changling's Mystery. These evil soul masters were trapped, and Yuan Changqing and Wang Yuyan began to kill again. The fourth soul skill, Blade Storm. The fifth soul skill, Electric Light Dulong Diamond. The fifth soul skill, Sword of Ice. The sixth soul skill, Changling Flies to Kill. 4 people were killed immediately, and the evil soul master quickly activated his defensive soul skills. The masters of the holy religion will take revenge on us. The leader of the evil soul master threatened before he died. As time passed, there were screams, and the evil soul masters were also eliminated. In the end, it was Catherine who killed the leader of the evil soul masters first, and then came to help Yuan Changqing and the others. After all, there were a lot of people here. After the evil soul master was eliminated, Yuan Changqing and the other 3 were almost exhausted of their soul power. This group of evil soul masters was not weak, so the fight was quite difficult. Afterwards, he quickly found a place and began to recover his soul power. After his soul power was restored, he searched around the village again. All the villagers here were turned into mummies by the evil soul master, and they all died. If these corpses were not dealt with, a plague might occur, so Yuan Changqing and the others gathered all the corpses, and finally burned them all. The corpses of the evil soul masters were searched, the valuable ones were kept, and the rest were burned. Then, Yuan Changqing and the other 3 set out on the road. After arriving in the city, they found someone to send a letter to Wuhuan Palace and the Star Luo Empire officials, explaining the situation in that village in detail, and they didn't pay too much attention to it. He is a good person who does good deeds without leaving his name behind. In fact, the reason why Yuan Changqing did this was mainly because he was afraid of trouble. This time he went to Gingjin and there were still things to do, so there was nothing extraneous. Zhang. This is a city famous in Douluo Continent for its blacksmiths and trading. The Blacksmiths Association was established in Gingjin City. When Yuan Changqing and the others arrived at Gingjin City, they saw a huge flow of people and a prosperous scene. The shops on the streets were filled with blacksmith shops and or trading grounds. This is also an or trading city. Businessmen from all over the Douluo Continent come here to trade every day. After Yuan Changqing and the others arrived at Gingjin City, they first found a hotel to stay in. After a long journey, they also needed repairs. The next day, after a night of repairs, I found a guy who was dedicated to guiding people and started walking around Gingjin City. Seeing that Gingjin City is different from other cities, Wang Yuyan said, "Brother Changqing, Sister Catherine, you see, this place is very different from other cities we have seen." Yuan Changqing and Catherine also nodded. Yuan Changqing said, "Man, please introduce us to the situation here first," the clerk said. 3 Soul Masters. The difference between this Gingjin City and other cities is that the blacksmiths are produced here, and there are countless various ores traded here every day. Because the Blacksmiths Association is here, more than half of the blacksmiths on the continent are gathered here, and many blacksmiths from other cities in Douluo Continent also returned after learning the blacksmithing skills from Gingjin City. The special feature here is that there are many blacksmith shops and places to trade ore. It is different from other cities that sell a variety of goods. Of course, those things are also available here, but they are not the characteristics of Gingjin City. After hearing this, Yuan Changqing felt that only in this way could Gingjin City be worthy of its name, and said to the clerk, "Then do you know anything about the city, especially the places where ore is bought and sold?" The clerk said, "Master Soul Master, I have grown up in Gingjin City since I was a child. Although I don't know everything, I am still familiar with the place where the ore is traded. Otherwise, I would not have grown up here in vain." Yuan Changqing said again, "Well, you can take us to see it first." Afterwards, the clerk led the 3 of them to look at various ore trading places. After walking around, they came to a shop where many people gathered. Wang Yuyan was a little curious and asked the waiter, "What are you doing? Why are there so many people around?" The guy replied, "Master Soul Master, this is gambling on stones, which is also one of the characteristics of Gingjin City. Because these ores are wrapped in stones when they are mined, people cannot know whether there is anything inside, and slowly it formed gambling on stones. Gambling on stones all depends on luck. If you're lucky, the items you get will be worth thousands of gold. If you're not lucky, 1 copper soul coin will be worthless. Therefore, it's more exciting every time someone bets on stones." Yuan Changqing is also quite curious. This is the first time he has seen gambling stone in person, and he also wants to see it. Yuan Changqing said, "Then let's go and see it." The clerk led the 3 of them over, and at the same time reminded him, saying, "Master Soul Master, just go and have a look. It's best not to gamble. If you don't have experience, you will really lose 9 times out of 10. Yuan Changqing nodded and said, "It's okay, we don't want to gamble, we just haven't seen gambling stones, we just want to see them, but I also want to thank you for your kindness." The guy said, "It's okay, it's okay." Afterwards, several people also came forward to see how the gambling stone was played. Chapter 72 Transaction, Additional Update. You are listening at MedicalKnowledge. Seeing the stone gambling situation in the field, Yuan Changqing also found that it was similar to the stone gambling scene he saw on the video in his previous life. Although he had not seen it live in his previous life, it was still there on the video, but it was not so intuitive. Seeing this gambling stone, Yuan Changqing thought of the special function of the Qibao glazed pagoda. It was like a golden finger for treasure hunting, able to detect whether the things inside the stone were valuable. After seeing it for a while, Yuan Changqing gave in again. The guy took the 3 of them to look at other places. After walking around for a day and seeing a lot of places, Yuan Changqing paid a gold soul coin to the guy. The clerk saw it was a gold soul coin and said, "Sir Soul Master, I can't find the small one. Can you?" Yuan Changqing added, "It's a reward for you, and thank you for your kindness today in reminding us. Okay, you can just continue to come here and wait for us tomorrow." After hearing this, the waiter looked happy and said quickly, "Master Soul Master, I will be here on time tomorrow." "Thank you, Master Soul Master. It was another night, and the next morning, the waiter came to the hotel early to wait for Yuan Changqing and the others. When the three of them left the hotel, they hurried forward. The waiter said, "Three Soul Masters, do you have somewhere to go today?" After a day of understanding yesterday, Yuan Changqing also roughly knows the situation of these ores. Generally, ores that consume a lot of money are traded in large quantities, and the prices are relatively transparent. Those more precious and rare ores are more expensive. Yuan Changqing plans to go to those larger ore stores, because there are more types of ores in such places. Yuan Changqing said, "Go to a larger ore trading shop." The waiter responded, "Okay, Three Soul Masters, please come with me." I followed the guy who led the way to a relatively luxuriously decorated store. After entering, I saw the shelves filled with various ore samples. When someone came, the shop assistant hurriedly came forward to greet them. The shop assistant said, "A few of my customers don't know what kind of ore they need, so I can introduce it to you." Yuan Changqing said, "Let's take a look first. You can help us introduce the ores here." "But are all the ores in your store here?" The store clerk said, "Guests, if you need ordinary ore, we basically have it in this store. If you need something more precious, then you need to ask the boss." Nodding, Yuan Changqing said, "Okay, then you can introduce these ores to us first." Afterwards, the store clerk led Yuan Changqing and others to introduce the ores here, and introduced the functions, characteristics, uses, etc. of various ores in more detail. Yuan Changqing also experienced the various functions of these ores, and then took out a piece of paper and handed the needed items to the shop assistant. Yuan Changqing said, "Everything I need is written on paper. Go and ask your boss if you have it here." The shop assistant's eyes widened when he saw the ore he wanted on the note, knowing that this was a big deal. The profit from these ores was much greater than those from ordinary ores. The shop assistant said quickly, "Dear distinguished guests, please follow me to the side to have a cup of tea first. I will go to my boss immediately and ask the boss to come over and talk to these distinguished guests." After a cup of tea, the store clerk led the store owner over. When he saw Yuan Changqing and the others, he quickly stepped forward to say hello. The shop owner said, "Hello, distinguished guests, how are you? It's really a blessing to have you visit our store. I don't know your surnames." Yuan Changqing was not one to reach out and slap a smile on his face. He said politely, "Boss, you are welcome. My surname is Yuan. I don't know if you have the things I need on the note in your store. If so, all these things will be traded with you. If not, I won't delay your business, boss." The shop owner hurriedly said, "Yes, yes. Thank you, Boss Yuan, for taking care of our store's business." Yuan Changqing was also happy and said, "Then let's discuss the price." The shop owner added, "Boss Yuan, let me tell you the truth. Our shop only has some of the things you need. If Boss Yuan is not in a hurry, I can discuss with other ore owners and help you raise them. But need some time." After hearing what the shop owner said, Yuan Changqing thought for a moment and said, "I don't know how long it will take. If it's too long, it won't work. We can't stay in Gingjin City for too long." The shop owner said, "It will take a few days at most, and I can't guarantee that I can find them all, because some of the ores you need are too rare and rarely seen." Yuan Changqing nodded and said, "Then take a look at what you have found and help me mark out the ones that I can't find. I have to stay in Gingjin City for a few days anyway, so I will go shopping more in the next few days to see if there is any chance. Arrive." Then, the shop owner took the note and quickly marked out the particularly rare ores, then wrote them down and handed them to Yuan Changqing. Yuan Changqing looked at it and said, "Okay, boss, you have to raise everything as soon as possible. Also, let's negotiate the price first to avoid any disputes during the transaction later." The shop owner said, "Okay, Boss Yuan, let's discuss the price first." Afterwards, the unrelated people left, and Yuan Changqing also left the place after negotiating the price with the boss. Before leaving the shop, Yuan Changqing asked again, "Boss, do you know where these relatively rare ores can be found?" The shop owner thought for a while and said, "Boss Yuan, you might as well go to the auction house and have a look. Sometimes there will be some rare ores being auctioned there. Yuan Changqing nodded and said, "Okay, thank you boss for informing me, and you can also help collect those things as soon as possible." Later, Yuan Changqing had no intention of visiting Gingjin City anymore. He gave the money and sent the guy who was leading the way, asking him to wait for him in front of the hotel tomorrow, and then return to the hotel with Catherine and Wang Yuyan. Because most of the things he needed to find were found, Yuan Changqing was no longer in a hurry to look for them. In the next few days, he looked around Gingjin City to see if he could find them. As for when the auction house will have an auction, I also sent the guy to help find out, and I will let you know as soon as there is any news. Then, Yuan Changqing took Catherine and Wang Yuyan to appreciate the customs and food of Gingjin City. Within a few days, good news came. The boy inquired about the news and said that an auction would be held in the next few days. Yuan Changqing tried his best to get the auction invitation and prepared to go and have a look at the auction. Do you have anything you need for auction? Please recommend and collect it from all readers. Thank you in advance. Chapter 73 Auction, More Updates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When the time came for the auction, Yuan Changqing brought Catherine and Wang Yuyan to the auction house dressed in fine clothes. After the guard read the invitation, he respectfully invited the three in. Yuan Changqing and the other three came to their positions and saw that many people had come. Most of the people who had come here were burly blacksmiths. It seemed that the auction in Gingjin City was still dominated by ore. After a while, most of the seats in the auction house were occupied, and a male MC came to the stage in front, indicating that the auction had begun. Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to this auction. I am the MC Luca. I hope that every distinguished guest sitting here will be able to auction something they like. Welcome everyone again. After a round of applause, the auction officially began. The master of ceremonies bowed and said, thank you all. Well, without further ado, I would like to invite you for the first lot. As soon as he finished speaking, a hostess came up with a tray. Master of ceremony Luca said, the first auction item is a cold iron forged sword made by a famous blacksmith master in Gingjin City. The starting price is 100 gold soul coins, and each increase in price must not be less than 10 gold soul coins. As soon as the master of ceremonies finished speaking, someone started bidding. Guests in seat number 5 will receive an additional 10 gold soul coins, 110 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 12 will pay an additional 10 gold and 120 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 5 will pay an additional 30 gold soul coins and 230 gold soul coins. After waiting for a while, no one bid again. The MC started calling out the price and said, 230 gold soul coins for the first time, 230 gold soul coins for the second time, 230 gold soul coins for the third time. Bang, it's a deal. Please give me the second auction item. This item is a piece of gold wire inner armor. Wearing it on the body can effectively defend against the attacks of the soul sect. This inner armor was also made by the blacksmith master in Gingjin City. The starting price is 500 gold soul coins, and each bid increase must not be less than 10 gold soul coins. Now please bid. Guests in seat 6 will pay an additional 20 gold soul coins, 520 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 8 will pay an additional 50 gold soul coins, 570 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 16 will pay an additional 50 gold soul coins, 960 gold soul coins. 960 gold soul coins. Are there any other customers who need to increase the price? 960 gold soul coins, first time. 960 gold soul coins for the second time. Do you want to increase the price? 960 gold soul coins for the third time. Snapped. The deal is done. Let us congratulate the guest in seat 16 for successfully auctioning this piece of gold wire underwear. The third lot is here for me. Now we have the 27th lot, which is also one of the 3 final lots. For those of you who haven't taken the lot yet, you must seize the opportunity. The 27th lot is 2 pieces of ore, 1 piece of Haoyang gold and iron, and 1 piece of Hanyue crystal. These are a pair of yin and yang attributes of ore. They are very rare in Douluo Continent. For the blacksmith master, they are rare treasures in the world. Its starting price is 100,000 gold soul coins. Each bid increase must not be less than 1,000 gold soul coins. Please start increasing the price. Guests in seat number 2 will pay an additional fee of 5,000 gold soul coins and 150,000 gold soul coins. Guests in seat number 1 will pay an additional fee of 5,000 gold soul coins and 110,000 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 10 will pay an additional 10,000 gold soul coins and 120,000 gold soul coins. The finale was ominous, and the competition suddenly became a lot fiercer. Anyone with some ability joined the competition, especially the blacksmiths, just like a cat seeing a mouse. Yuan Changqing's seat is number 28. So far in the auction, he has not made a bid. This time he came to the auction mainly to see if there are any needed items for sale. The auction was almost over, and Yuan Changqing finally got what he needed, but he didn't expect it to be one of the final items. However, the competition is too fierce now, so Yuan Changqing is not in a hurry to bid, and will wait until the end. After Catherine saw this lot, she knew it was what Yuan Changqing needed. Catherine asked in a low voice, "Husband, why don't you take action?" Wang Yuyan also looked over, and Yuan Changqing shook his head and said softly, "Don't worry, now is not the best time to bid. This thing doesn't seem cheap now. Let's wait until there are fewer people competing to bid." Wang Yuyan also said, "Yeah, I didn't expect there to be so many competitors. It seems that this finale lot is different. I just don't know what kind of price the last 2 lots will fetch." Yuan Changqing said, "It depends on what the auction item is. It may not be sold, Guests in seat 3 will be charged an additional 20,000 gold soul coins and 240,000 gold soul coins. Yuan Changqing saw that the time was almost up and started to hold up a sign. Guests in seat 28 will be charged an additional 30,000 gold soul coins and 290,000 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 3 will pay an additional fee of 10,000 gold soul coins and 300,000 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 28 will be charged an additional 30,000 gold soul coins and 330,000 gold soul coins. Guests in seat 28 will be charged an additional 30,000 gold soul coins and 370,000 gold soul coins. After waiting for a while, no one competed again. The master of ceremonies said, 370,000 gold soul coins, first time. There is still a price increase, 370,000 gold soul coins, the second time. 370,000 gold soul coins, the third time. Snapped. The sale was completed. Let us congratulate the guest in seat 28 for successfully acquiring the 27th item. Ba bang bang. Please bid for the 28th lot. The last 2 lots are also quite precious, but for other people, Yuan Changqing doesn't need them. Now it's enough to get a happy lot, but this thing is really expensive. Thinking of the price, my heart bleeds. Although Yuan Changqing's family is not short of money now, it is heartbreaking to take out such a large amount at once. When he came to Zhengjinqing this time, Yuan Changqing finally understood the concept of spending money like water. In addition, the ore he bought in the store was also a lot of money. Catherine and Wang Yuyan found it funny when they saw Yuan Changqing's heartbroken expression when he gave the money. After returning to the hotel, Catherine deliberately joked, "Husband, what's wrong with you today? You look so sad." Hee hee. Wang Yuyan couldn't help laughing. Ha ha ha. When Catherine saw Wang Yuyan laughing, she couldn't help it and laughed loudly. Yuan Changqing said speechlessly, "Laugh, laugh, you don't know that it is easy to spend money but hard to make money. This time I spent so many gold soul coins in Zhengjinqing, it makes my heart hurt. Now my heart is bleeding. You are still in the mood to laugh at me, and you don't know how to comfort your husband, alas. How sad." Seeing Yuan Changqing like this, Catherine and Wang Yuyan looked at each other, fell on the bed, and laughed again. without caring about Yuan Changqing's feelings at all. Yuan Changqing rushed forward and said, "Okay, if you dare to laugh at your husband, it's up to my family to serve you." "Husband, I don't dare any more. Brother Changqing, please spare me." The three of them fought for a while, but in the end they were exhausted and lay on the bed quietly cuddling together. The setting sun shines into the room, making the scene look like a warm painting. Dear readers who have collected and recommended this article, thank you for your support. New readers, please add more favorites and recommendations. Thank you again. Newbies and new books, please pay more attention. Asking for a monthly ticket. Chapter 74 Method. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Yuan Changqing once again came to the ore store where he made the last reservation. After completing the transaction, the owner of the store personally escorted Yuan Changqing and the others out of the store. The shop owner said, "Boss Yuan, if you need any or in the future, just write to me directly and I will send it to you directly." Yuan Changqing said, "Okay, thank you boss. I am very satisfied with this transaction. Let's leave now without disturbing your business. Goodbye." Goodbye. Blue Silver Village. After completing the transaction in Zhengjinqing, Yuan Changqing and the others returned directly to Liaoning Village. In addition to the round trip to Gingjin City, it took a lot of time on the road. After returning to Liaoning Village, there was not much vacation left. Over the past year, the formation materials collected are almost complete, and the rest are easy to find. When you return to Tiando City, you can just buy them directly in Tiando City. After all, Tiando City is the capital of an empire, and various materials are easy to find. When the time comes, Yuan Changqing plans to start building the formation base for the formation directly in Tiando City. After returning to Liaoning Village for a few days, Yuan Changqing said goodbye to his hometown again and took his wife, children, younger brothers and sisters on his way to Tiando City. Tiando City. After a long journey, everyone came to Tiando City again and returned to the manor. Everyone worked together to clean the house. After eating, they went to rest. Although everyone was a soul master, they were still a little tired after traveling all the way from Soto City to Tiando City, so they all took an early rest to regain their strength. Time passed like this day by day. School also started, and Yuan Changqing had less free time. The clinic opened after Wang Yuyan and the others came back. Now everyone has their own affairs and seems to be very busy. Yuan Changqing also started to build the formation base in his spare time as planned. Each piece would be carefully crafted to avoid mistakes. The main reason was that the materials were difficult to find, and if they were wasted, it would take a lot of time to find them. It's also quite troublesome. During this period, De Guxin and his wife often came to the clinic to ask Yuan Changqing for help. Now he is in a much better state of mind. Hua Fian also became good friends with Catherine and Wang Yuyan, and the three of them often made appointments to go shopping together. Now De Guxin's family is also planning to live in Tiando City permanently. Yuan Changqing and his two wives did not ask where their family was before. Now they are both in Tiando City and have become good friends. In Yuan Changqing's manor, De Guxin and his wife came to visit today. They were sitting in the living room drinking tea and chatting together. Yuan Changqing and Dugu Xian sat aside and looked at Dugu Xian carefully. Yuan Changqing said, "Look at brother Dugu. His complexion seems to have been maintained well in recent times." Dugu Xian smiled and said, "Thank you to brother Yuan for your help, otherwise I would still be half dead like before." "Haha, brother Dugu deserves the award. This requires your cooperation, otherwise, no matter how good the plan is, it will not help." "Hee, brother Yuan, I can't help but cooperate. For my biphosphorus family, this is nothing. Now that I have brother Yuan's plan, my family can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Brother Dugu, your family's problem still needs you and your father to complete the last step, otherwise the problem will still exist. Have you found a suitable soul bone?" Dugu Xian sighed and said, "To be honest with brother Yuan, this soul bone is very rare and difficult to find. Also, my father went to look for you rashly last time. I'm really sorry. I didn't know that my father would go to you." "It's okay. Didn't you tell me when you came to the clinic last time? You don't need to mention it every time we meet." Besides, Mr. Douluo is a nice person and has clear grievances. Such a temperament is commendable. Ha ha ha, my father would be very happy to hear your comments like this. Ha, but having said that, how is old Mr. Douluo doing lately? It's not bad. He's been staying at the Ice and Fire Eye for a long time now. I have to thank you for that. It's been very helpful to my father's condition. Well, that's good. What about you? Now that your situation has stabilized, you are ready to solve your problem. We'll start after we find the soul bones. Otherwise, it won't be a problem if our strength remains at Soul Emperor. After the problem is solved, we can improve our strength. Well, that's right. It's best to have more children to increase the popularity of your Douluo family. In this case, Mr. Douluo will definitely be very happy, hee. Well, I do have this idea. At least I want to leave descendants for the Douluo family. After the two chatted for a while, Yuan Changqing suggested that Douluo Xian had better go to the Ice and Fire Eyes to solve the problem. Brother Douluo, after you find the soul bone, you'd better go to the Ice and Fire Eye to solve your problem. It will also make you safer there. Douluo Xian said, "Thank you Brother Yuan for your suggestion. My father and I discussed this too. I have also seen the Ice and Fire Eyes. It does have a good suppressive effect." Well, that's good. Speaking of soul bones, I heard that there is a higher chance of soul bones appearing when killing soul beasts. You can give it a try. It's best to find those soul beasts that contain highly toxic substances. This will help you the most. Douluo Xian was a little surprised and said, "Really? Why haven't you heard of it?" "Hey, I heard that too. As for whether it's true or not, I don't know. You can find out if you try to find more soul beasts." Well, it seems that we really need to find more soul beasts to try. Yuan Changqing reminded, when you are looking for soul beasts, it is best to look for poisonous soul beasts directly, so that the soul bones can be used directly. If you find other soul beasts for experiments, if you kill too many, one of them will be bad and cause the soul beasts to suffer. Riots, that would be bad. Douluo nodded and said, "I will pay attention. If it is really effective, my problem can be solved quickly. Brother Yuan, I won't say more this time. I will go back and discuss it with my father first." "Well, Brother Douluo, there's no need to rush. Let's eat before leaving." "Brother Yuan, no need. I have plenty of time to eat. Now I am not in the mood to eat. I can solve the problem as soon as possible and feel more at ease." Afterwards, Douluo Xian and his wife hurried away, hurriedly going back to find the soul bones with Douluo Bo. Catherine and the others saw Hua Fian and Douluo Xian leaving in a hurry and didn't know what happened. Catherine asked, "Husband, what happened to Fian and the others? Why did they leave without eating?" Yuan Changqing replied, "Oh, you said they went back to look for soul bones. I told them away, and Douluo Xian remembered to go and verify it." "Soul bone? What can I do?" Catherine was a little curious. "Ahem, it's nothing. I just heard that killing soul beasts makes it easier to release soul bones, and then Douluo Xian became uneasy." Wang Yuyan said, Brother Changqing, is your method reliable? You can't be fooling Douluo Xian, right?" "Hey, I don't know. As for whether it's true, does it matter? Doesn't Douluo lack a soul bone now? Let him try. This is also a way. He can't be like a headless fly with no clue. Find something useful." Catherine said, Husband, I don't think you are deceiving me. I said, my dear wife, I said I heard it, but I didn't say it must be true." Oh. Chapter 75. It's really useful. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Douluo and his wife returned home, they told their wife Hua Fian about the method of obtaining soul bones that Yuan Changqing had just told him. Hua Fian said in disbelief, "Xian, isn't this a bit of a joke? If that's the case, wouldn't it be easy to get soul bones?" Douluo Xian actually doesn't believe it very much. but when a drowning person grasps a straw, he will hold on tightly, Dugu Xin said awkwardly. I didn't make it clear to you. Dr. Yuan said that the probability is higher than usual, but he didn't say that it would definitely happen. Dr. Yuan also heard about it. Did Dr. Yuan tell you where you heard it? Ahem, I didn't ask this, and it's hard to ask. As for where I heard it, does it matter? Besides, everyone has secrets, and it's not a good thing to get to the bottom of it. That's right. Dr. Yuan's family is a good family, and they are all people worth getting to know. We can't ruin the relationship between the two families for some reason. When Dugu Xin heard what Hua Fian said, he felt that it was right and said with satisfaction, my wife is still thoughtful. So, when I heard Dr. Yuan say that, I hurriedly pulled you back to discuss with you to see if this matter is feasible. Not feasible. Hua Fian thought for a while and said, now that we can't find other soul bones, we can only try. This is always a way. Well, let's go to Sunset Forest now to find Father. With Father's help then, our safety will be higher. With that said, Dugu Xin was about to set off to Sunset Forest, but Hua was stopped by Fei Yen. Hua Fian said, what's the hurry? We also need to prepare, right? Let's purchase some supplies first. Otherwise, what will we eat in the forest then? Dugu Xin patted his head and said, hey, I'm so anxious. Well, my wife, let's go buy supplies now. Well, there's no need to be in such a hurry. Let's purchase all the things we need to purchase today. It won't be too late to go tomorrow. Hua Fian quickly persuaded. Afterwards, the two purchased supplies and went to the Ice and Fire Eye in the Sunset Forest the next day to find Dugu Bo. Sunset Forest. Now Dugu Bo has arranged a poison array around the Binghuoliangyi Eye. After Dugu Xin and his wife walked in, they went to look for Dugu Bo and came to the Ice and Fire Eyes. Sure enough, they were here. After seeing Dugu Bo, Dugu Xin asked, Father, how are you doing lately? Dugu Bo said, it's okay. Now with the suppression of the Ice and Fire Eyes, the poison in the body can be well controlled. Hearing this, Dugu Xin sighed, oh, Father, why do you think our martial spirit can even poison me? Dugu Bo was speechless and could only choose to remain silent, not knowing what to say. Hua Fian saw that the atmosphere was a little bad and said quickly, okay, Xin, don't we have something to discuss with Father? Dugu Xin also reacted and said, ah, yes, Father. Fei Yen and I have something to discuss with you this time. Dugu Bo said, what's going on? Afterwards, Dugu Xin quickly told Dugu Bo what Yuan Changqing said, just to ask what he thought. Dugu Bo said with a gloomy face, is this credible? Why do I feel a little unreliable? Ahem, Father, I have actually discussed this with Fei Yen, and I am here to ask for your opinion. Hua Fian also said, Father, in fact, no matter whether it is reliable or not, this is still a method. It is more useful than us looking for soul bones like headless flies. It won't be a big deal for us to try. At most, it will be a waste of time. Some time. Dugu Bo nodded and said, what Fei Yen said makes sense. It's better to have a way than no way. Let's go find some soul beasts to try first. Duguxin added, well, Dr. Yuan also reminded at that time that it is best to find poisonous soul beasts directly. If we find other soul beasts to experiment, more soul beasts will die, and it will easily cause a riot among the soul beasts. In that case, it's more passive. Well, that's fine. If the soul bones are found, they can be used directly. Well, let's set off now and try to find the soul beasts. After the three of them discussed it, they started looking for the poisonous soul beast in the Sunset Forest. As for whether they could find it in the end, Yuan Changqing didn't know. It all depended on the fate of Duguxin's family. Yuan Changqing's life here is uneventful. Thinking that Dugu Xin must be killing soul beasts and looking for soul bones now, he doesn't know if he can find them. After a while, Duguxin came to Yuan Changqing again. When he saw Duguxin again, Yuan Changqing found that something was different. Yuan Changqing knew that Duguxin's problem was solved, and now he was completely different from before. There was no snake smell anymore, his hair had turned back to black, and his eye color had returned to normal. Yuan Changqing said, "Brother Douluo, I haven't seen you for a long time. You have changed a lot now. It's like you have become a living person. You have changed your appearance. Congratulations." Douluo Xian also said happily, "Ha ha ha, it's all thanks to Brother Yuan. If it weren't for you, I, Douluo Xian, wouldn't be where I am today. I came here today to thank you." "Thank you, Brother Douluo. It seems that method works." "Hey, Brother Yuan, that method does work, but the chance is not high. My father and I also looked for a lot of soul beasts before we finally got one, and finally solved my problem. That's pretty good, but now Brother Douluo has finally cleared the clouds and seen the rainbow. I'm very happy to celebrate. Yes, now I finally don't have to suffer that inhuman pain. Brother Yuan, you don't know how I survived all these years, woo woo woo." Douluo Xian began to cry bitterly as he spoke. When Yuan Changqing saw Douluo Xian like this, he didn't know how to comfort him. They said that men don't shed tears easily, but they don't come to the point of pain. It seems that crying now can be regarded as a way to vent the pain and torture Douluo Xian has suffered over the years. When Douluo Xian stopped crying, Yuan Changqing said, "Okay, Brother Douluo, you have finally come to the end of all your hardships. Good times are yet to come. When you have children in the future, you will feel that this hardship is nothing. Brother Yuan, I'm sorry. I'm also happy and just want to vent my past pain." Douluo Xian was also a little embarrassed. "It's okay. Brother Douluo is also a gentle person, which is great. However, although your problem has been solved now, there are still hidden dangers. You and Mr. Douluo should pay more attention to it," Yuan Changqing reminded. Douluo nodded and said, "Don't worry, Brother Yuan, you have mentioned these problems before, and my father and I will also start to solve them later." "Well, that's good, let's go, Brother Douluo, I'm going to celebrate you today. I wish you can get out of the sea of suffering and get your life back on track." "Ha ha ha, okay, Brother Yuan, I'm treating you this time. I won't come back until you're drunk." Chapter 76 College Reform. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tiando Royal Academy. Today the college held a teachers' conference, and all teachers including Yuan Changqing participated. This meeting was mainly to discuss the school's grading of students. Since the college is increasingly transforming into an aristocratic school, the school has also begun to carry out reforms. On the rostrum, the chief of the college said, "The main purpose of inviting teachers to come here this time is to discuss the grade reform of students in the school. Teachers sitting here, if you have any good suggestions, you can put forward." A teacher asked, "Chief, isn't it good to stick to the current grade system? Why should we reform it?" The chief said, "I also know everyone's doubts. In the past, there was no problem in dividing by grade, but that was before. Now everyone knows who most of our students are. This has caused a serious problem, that is, quality. The problem is serious. So, in order to change the status quo, provide better resources to those who need them more, so that we can provide talents to the empire to a greater extent. As for those students who are dawdling and waiting for their diploma, they will naturally not be able to enjoy the good resources of the college. The above is the focus of this reform. Teachers should be aware of the reasons." From the chief's words, Yuan Changqing learned that the nobles of the Tiando Empire are now excluding civilian students from entering the Tiando Royal Academy, which has caused serious trouble to the fresh blood of the empire's talents. Moreover, the huge group of nobles forced the emperor of the Tiando Empire to weigh the pros and cons. Therefore, he did not interfere too much with the current situation of the Tiando Imperial Academy. However, the head of the academy had to consider the future of the academy, and with the emperor's acquiescence, carry out a comprehensive reform without destroying the ability of those nobles to enter the Tiando Royal Academy. In this way, even if those nobles can enter Tiando Royal Academy, as long as your talent is not good, then you will not get good resources to train you. On the other hand, you can also concentrate resources and use more resources to train those with good talents and special recruits, so that you can cultivate more talents for the empire. these problems in the college have actually existed for a long time, but they were not too serious before. However, as time goes by, this situation will become more serious in the future. After various opinions were put forward, these opinions were finally synthesized to form the final reform opinions. The chief said, "Everyone, be quiet." After all the opinions put forward by various teachers, finally, starting from next year, we will no longer be divided by grade. From now on, we will divide it into 3 levels. From low to high, Tianwei, Tianji, and Tiando. These 3 levels must also be divided into ages. If the age is not suitable, then it must be rearranged. Next, I will be specific. Tianwei, as long as your age is no more than 30 years old, your soul power level will not be considered. Tianji, you need to be 18 years old and have a soul power level of 20 or above to enter the Tianji class. Tiando, you need to be 12 years old and have a soul power level of 20 or above to enter the Tiando class. Then, starting from next year, both freshmen and old students will have to follow the current reform results. Each class will submit the detailed information of each student to the school affairs office before this year's holiday. Okay, let's adjourn the meeting. Weekend. Catherine, Tiando Royal Academy is going to reform. Yuan Changqing told Catherine about this at home. Catherine was surprised. Why is it suddenly reformed when everything is going well? Wang Yuyan also asked curiously, "Yes, I haven't heard you say anything happened at Tiando Royal Academy recently." Yuan Changqing sighed and said, "Catherine, you haven't been a teacher for several years. Of course you don't know the situation in the college now. In fact, when you were still a teacher, you can guess what the school was like when you thought about it more. Arrive. Is it because the situation of the noble students is so serious? Well, it's getting more and more serious. In the past, it was easy for civilian students to enter Tiando Royal Academy as long as they had good talent. Now, it's not just a question of talent, but also a letter of recommendation and communication with the school in advance, otherwise you won't even be able to get in." Wang Yuyan exclaimed, "Don't your school leaders care? Of course we have to take care of it, but if we can take care of it, we can't always guard the school gate. The aristocratic students in the school now wait for the teacher to turn his back and come to cause trouble." Yuan Changqing added, "So, this time the college is determined to reform. If it doesn't reform, it will really become a retirement school for those noble students. Actually, another problem is that the school chief can't be here for a few more years. I want to solve this problem for the next chief. Otherwise, when it becomes a nursing school, the Tiando Royal Academy will not live up to its name." Catherine said, "Is the chief going to resign? It seems that this reform is really possible. Otherwise, when the next chief comes, it will be really difficult to solve this problem." "Yes, but this reform is not bad. At least those civilians who can enter the Tiando Royal Academy will have better resources to help them grow. Also, now that the college is divided into 3 levels, Tianwei, Tianji, and Tiando, the college's resources are more concentrated. In the future, students in the Tiando class will definitely be trained with a lot of resources." Catherine thought for a while and said, "That's not bad. At least it can cultivate a lot of talents for the empire and avoid wasting it on those useless nobles." Yuan Changqing smiled and said, There is no way. The emperor is not in a hurry. Why do we ordinary people think so much?" Catherine said unhappily. "Originally, Tiando Royal Academy was used to select talents for the empire, but now it has become a school for nobles. I'm just a little unhappy." "Okay, Catherine, what can you do if you are unhappy? Can anything be changed? Unless you become a titled Douluo and directly become the chief, it is possible. In that case, those nobles will not dare to trouble you, ha ha ha. If I were a titled Douluo, I wouldn't be too lazy to care about those crappy things and waste my energy. I'm just not worth it for those common people. You said that every time we go to war with the Star Luo Empire, we always lose more and win less. Isn't it because the Soul Master is not strong enough? Why, the empire doesn't know how to cultivate talents properly. Yuan Changqing said, "You are right, those nobles are indeed useless. If there is no Wuhuan palace, the Tiando Empire may be gone, but who makes the royal family not powerful enough to suppress those nobles? Indeed, the martial arts spirit of the royal family is indeed not very good. Husband, do you think this reform has the tacit approval of the royal family?" Yuan Changqing rolled his eyes at Catherine and said, "There must be, otherwise someone will definitely stop the chief's reform in person. However, those nobles are not stupid, and they know enough is enough. I think those nobles do not stop it openly, but secretly it's definitely going to be a stumbling block." Chapter 77 Asking for Help. You are listening at MedicalKnowledge. Time is passing slowly, and the semester is almost over. One thing that happened in the school this year is that starting from next year, the reform plan will be officially implemented. However, none of these have much impact on Yuan Changqing. He can do whatever he wants, but it doesn't have much impact on those students. If you are a bit more talented, the college will provide you with some resources. If you are less talented, you can only hang out in the college and wait for your graduation certificate. Starting next year, most of the college's resources will be used on the talented students in Tiando class. From now on, students in the Tianwei and Tianji classes will all belong to the nobility. Only the Tiando class will have civilian students. This is also a compromise between the college and the nobles. There is no way, geniuses will be welcomed wherever they go. If those nobles are making things difficult for those talented civilian students now, then when they grow up in the future, it is not certain who will make things difficult for whom. These matters do not involve Yuan Changqing, they are all matters between the top management of the Tiando Empire. After collecting the materials, Yuan Changqing slowly began to build the base of the formation, from simple to complex. The clinic now has Catherine and Wang Yuyan, so they don't need to look after them often. I only visit the clinic sometimes, and occasionally meet up with Deguxin for tea. Now the two have become friends, and the two families often travel together. It was another weekend, and Yuan Changqing was studying elixirs at home, or thinking about how to build a formation base, and his days were quite fulfilling. Suddenly, I saw Catherine coming back with Hua Fian, and Hua Fian looked anxious. Yuan Changqing asked, "Catherine, what's wrong with Mrs. Hua? Is something okay?" Hua Fian said quickly, "Dr. Yuan, my family really needs your help for something. I couldn't find you when I went to the clinic, so Catherine took me to you." Yuan Changqing poured a cup of tea for Hua Fian, handed it to her, and said, "Drink some water first, and then speak slowly." Catherine said, "Husband, what else are you drinking? Help Fian first, this matter is more important." "Okay, Mrs. Hua, what's going on? Where's brother Dugu, has something happened to him?" Hua Fian said, "No, it's my father-in-law, Dr. Yuan. I need you to come over this time and help me take a look. Your life is at stake." Hearing this, Yuan Changqing quickly stood up and said, "Then leave quickly. Are you at your home?" "No, it's the ice and fire eyes in the sunset forest. Dr. Yuan, you should know." The three of them hurriedly went out and ran all the way out of Tiando City, because Tiando City couldn't fly and had to run. Of course, titled Douluo could fly. After all, titled Douluo was already the ceiling on Douluo Continent. Yuan Changqing turned to Catherine and said, "Catherine, you are fast. When you leave Tiando City, take me to fly there first. That's faster. Outside Tiando City. Fei Yan, let's go there first." Catherine told Hua Fei Yan again. Without waiting for Hua Fian to answer, Catherine took Yuan Changqing into the sky and headed towards the sunset forest. After arriving at the sunset forest, under the guidance of Yuan Changqing, the two of them quickly arrived at Ice and Fire Liangyi with Catherine's flying martial spirit. I hear, looking at the poison array arranged in front of him, Yuan Changqing knew that it was Dugu Bo's handiwork. Yuan Changqing himself is invulnerable to all poisons, but Catherine is not. Because she can make elixirs, Catherine also prepared a lot of elixirs to carry with her. Yuan Changqing looked at the poison formation and said, "Catherine, you take the antidote pill first, and then we go in." When the two came to the Eye of Ice and Fire, they saw that Douluo Bo's whole body was covered in poisonous mist. From the poisonous mist, it could be seen that Douluo Bo was currently experiencing an explosion of toxins in his body. When Douluo Xian saw the arrival of the two men, he quickly stepped forward and said anxiously, "Dr. Yuan, you are finally here, save my father." Yuan Changqing didn't waste any time and quickly stepped forward to check on Douluo Bo. Since he was immune to all poisons, he didn't have to worry about being poisoned. After checking, Yuan Changqing had no good solution. He took a look at the ice and fire eyes and found that they had not yet returned to their prime. This may be the reason why Douluo Bo could not suppress the toxins in his body. Later, Yuan Changqing carefully recalled some things about Douluo Bo in the original work, and thought that Douluo Bo accidentally entered the ice and fire eyes, and with the help of the ice and fire eyes, he condensed a poison pill in his body. In such a lucky situation he suppressed the poisonous explosion and was promoted to a quasi-title Douluo. Thinking of this, Yuan Changqing hurriedly said to Douluo Bo, "Mr. Douluo, you are now trying to condense the toxins in your body into the martial soul into a pill shape. I will assist you by your side." Without waiting for Douluo Bo's response, Yuan Changqing quickly used auxiliary soul skills. The third soul skill, the praise of life. The second soul skill, light of life. With the blessing of Yuan Changqing's soul skills, after hearing Yuan Changqing's words, Douluo Bo also worked hard to control the toxins in his body to gather into his martial soul. Time passed slowly. After Yuan Changqing's uninterrupted soul skill assistance, Douluo Bo also slowly stabilized. The toxins lingering outside the body slowly dissipated because there was no subsequent spillage of toxins. Douluo Bo was also revealed as the poisonous mist disappeared. The toxins in his body slowly gathered in his martial spirit, and Wu Qing's complexion slowly became normal. Seeing this, Yuan Changqing said, "Mr. Douluo, you can condense those toxins into a poison pill, and maybe it can help you control the toxins in your body." The third soul skill, the praise of life. The second soul skill, light of life. Yuan Changqing once again assisted Douluo Bo to help his body that was damaged by toxins. Seeing Douluo Bo working hard to condense the poison elixir, the situation stabilized. Yuan Changqing said to Deguxin again, "What's going on?" Douluo Xian said, "Dr. Yuan, it was actually that time you told us how to obtain soul bones. With the soul bones, in my case, under your treatment plan, I was finally able to avoid being poisoned by the martial soul. Later, we used the same method and went to the Star Do Forest. We were lucky and got a piece. However, although the probability of soul bones appearing this way is a little higher, it's not much higher. So, we found a lot of soul beasts. Those soul beasts have lived for thousands of years and are not easy to deal with. The situation is that my father uses martial arts frequently, which causes more and more toxins in his body. After we get the soul bones and come back, my father can no longer control his poison, so we plan to use the soul bones to detoxify the poison in his body at the ice and fire eye. I just didn't expect that as soon as I started to guide the poison to the soul bone, the chain reaction of the toxin in my father's body would start to explode." Yuan Changqing didn't wait for Douluo Xian to finish speaking before he said, "So then you asked Mrs. Hua to come to me for help?" Deguxin nodded and said, "That's it." Chapter 78 Follow-up. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it, you guys are too messy. Don't you know that your father's situation is different from yours? Yuan Changqing said speechlessly. Douluo Xian also said in frustration, "We have no choice. Seeing that the poison in my father's body is about to be uncontrollable, we can only take a gamble." Yuan Changqing added, "Didn't I tell you before? Your father's strength is too high, and the poison in his body has penetrated deep into the bone marrow. It is not easy to pull it out. If he doesn't do it well, he may die from the poison." Look, this time it almost came true. Yes, if you hadn't arrived in time this time, the consequences would have been disastrous. Douluo Xian also said with some luck. Yuan Changqing said, "Okay, since you have found the soul bone now, I will help Mr. Douluo solve this problem." Douluo Xian said excitedly, "Dr. Yuan, you have a way to solve the poison in my father's body." Well, originally I thought that after you have the soul bones, together with a pill I researched, it should be able to solve Mr. Dugu's problem, but I didn't expect that after you have the soul bones, you will be in a hurry to use it. Now that we have arrived at the Eye of Ice and Fire, Dugu Bo's condition is relatively stable, and Catherine has been at level 79 for some time. Yuan Changqing said to Catherine, "Catherine, there is nothing to do now. You can practice here first. The soul power here is more abundant than outside. Maybe you can make a breakthrough." When Catherine heard that she could break through, her eyes lit up and she said, "It's true, husband, then I'll go practice first and call me if you need anything." Then he said to Dugu Xin, "Brother Dugu, just stay here and pay attention to your father's condition. I will go and refine the elixir to be used first." "Okay, Dr. Yuan, go ahead and do your work first. I'll pay attention here." Later, Yuan Changqing came to the fire attribute of the ice and fire eyes, took out the alchemy furnace, and placed it on the ice and fire eyes, looking at Binghua Lianjian. Nearly 2 years have passed since the last time Yuan Changqing came here, and the place has recovered well. After waiting for a while, Yuan Changqing began to take out various medicinal materials and put them in one by one, and finally added his own blood. Yuan Changqing himself has taken Liehua Xingjiashu and star anise ice grass, which makes him immune to all poisons. Therefore, the blood also has a detoxifying effect. While Yuan Changqing was refining the elixir, Hua Fian also arrived. In order not to worry Wang Yuyan, she wrote a letter and asked Hua Fian to send it back. Before the elixir was finished refining, Hua Fian rushed over again. Seeing that Yuan Changqing was still refining the elixir, she didn't bother him and just said that the letter had been delivered. After listening to Yuan Changqing's words, Catherine found a place nearby and began to practice seriously, because the soul power here was sufficient. After several days of practice, coupled with more than a year of accumulation, she finally began to make breakthroughs. I saw Catherine's soul power fluctuating violently. As time passed slowly, the fluctuations became larger and larger. Finally, she succeeded in breaking through and entered level 80 quasi-contra. A few days later, the elixir refining was completed. Yuan Changqing refined 6 elixirs. The medicinal materials used to refine the elixirs this time were all very precious. After everyone saw Yuan Changqing refining the elixir, they also gathered around. Catherine said, "Husband, you have refined the elixir, which is great. However, I also have good news to tell you. Now I am a quasi-contra, hee. Yuan Changqing also said happily, "It's true, Catherine, you finally made a breakthrough, that's great." "Well, how about it?" "It's awesome." "Yes, it's very powerful." "Okay, I won't say any more. I have now finished refining the elixirs I need." When everyone came to Dugu Bo's side, they saw that Dugu Bo was still working hard to condense the poison elixir, but they didn't bother him. Yuan Changqing said, "Now let's wait until Mr. Dugu completes the condensation of the poisonous elixir. Let's wait for now." Dugu Xin said, "Okay, then Dr. Yuan, you go and recover your soul power first. We will take care of you here. Well, call me if anything happens." Later, Yuan Changqing also found a place and began to recover his soul power. Catherine was also watching over him. After a few more days, Dugu Bo finally condensed the poison pill. Dugu Bo saw Yuan Changqing and said, "This time I really troubled Dr. Yuan. Your method not only allowed me to condense the poison elixir and stabilize my physical condition, but also allowed me to break through to level 90 quasi-title Douluo." When Dugu Xin and his wife heard this, their faces were filled with joy. Dugu Xin said, "Father, you have really broken through to the title Douluo level. Yes, this time it's really a fluke. As long as the soul ring is attached, it will be an authentic title Douluo, ha. Yuan Changqing and Catherine also stepped forward to congratulate him, saying, "First of all, congratulations to Mr. Dugu for being promoted to title Douluo." Dugu Bo said, Ha, Dr. Yuan, you don't have to be like this. Your life-saving grace for me this time is unforgettable. You don't need to call me Mr. Dugu anymore. Just call me Old Poison. It sounds friendly." Yuan Changqing said, "That's not good. Dugu Xin and I are of the same generation. Calling you that would be too disrespectful. Dugu Bo said calmly, the relationship between you and Xin is your business. Let's call each other our own. Let's call me Lao Poison. That's what we decided. Yuan Changqing and Dugu Xin looked at each other, and Dugu Xin could only smile bitterly. We. Catherine and Hua Fian both laughed. When Yuan Changqing heard what Dugu Bo said, he was not pretentious and said, okay, just listen to Mr. Dugu. I will call you Old Poison from now on. Ha ha ha, this is the right thing to do. Where does all the red tape come from? Yuan Changqing said, okay, Old Poisoner, let's get rid of the poison in your body first. Afterwards, Yuan Changqing took out the elixir he had refined a few days ago and handed it to Dugu Bo. Yuan Changqing said again, Old Poisoner, take these 6 pills one by one. After eating, they will start to guide the toxins in the body into the soul bones. You must take your time at the beginning, little by little. Guidance. Dugu Bo said, okay, thank you Dr. Yuan. It seems that my problem can be solved this time. As Dugu Bo began to solve his own problems, Yuan Changqing and others were waiting at the Eye of Ice and Fire. Ha ha ha. After waiting for a few days, everyone heard Dugu Bo's laughter, which was full of joy. When Dugu Bo appeared in front of Yuan Changqing and others, the changes were not small. He became a little younger. Like Dugu Xin last time, his hair and eyes became normal color. Dugu Bo said to Yuan Changqing, Dr. Yuan, I really want to thank you. You have saved my family several times. In the future, if you have anything to do, just call me. Yuan Changqing replied, ha ha ha, Old Poisoner, you don't have to call me Dr. Yuan or anything like that. Just call me Yuan Changqing or Changqing. If you say there's something going on, there's really something going on this time. Whatever it is, just say it. Hua Fian said, Father, I guess Dr. Yuan must be doing it for Catherine. Catherine has also broken through to level 80 in the Ice and Fire eyes. She only needs to obtain the soul ring to become a Contra. Dugu Bo came to Catherine and said, oh, I didn't expect you to have reached Contra at such a young age. You are really talented. Catherine said, hee hee, then I will trouble my uncle this time. Yuan Changqing also said, this time we really need to trouble the Old Poison to help hunt for the soul ring. Dugu Bo said, it's okay. It just so happens that I also need to solve the 9th soul ring this time, so we can go together then. Chapter 79 Departure. You are listening at MedicalKnowledge. With Dugu Bo's recovery, his worries were resolved, and his soul power had been promoted to a quasi-title Douluo, and he began to prepare to find a soul ring. Catherine also got a lot of benefits from the Ice and Fire eyes this time. Taking advantage of the special environment here, she also successfully advanced to quasi-contra. Yuan Changqing said, then let's go back to Tiando City now, make some repairs in Tiando City, and then go to the Star Do Forest to find the soul ring. Dugu Bo said, okay, I need to go back first, and take advantage of the time to go back and repair, to consolidate my soul power first. So, everyone left the Sunset Forest and returned to Tiando City. They agreed on a time to look for the soul ring together. Tiando City, after Yuan Changqing separated from Dugu Bo's family, he took Catherine back home. When Wang Yuyan came home and saw the two of them, she quickly came to greet them. Brother Changqing, Sister Catherine, are you all okay? Wang Yuyan asked with concern. Catherine said, Sister Yuyan, we are all fine, and there is good news for you. I have been promoted to quasi-contra, hee hee. Really? That's great. Sister Catherine, congratulations to you. Huh, same joy, same joy. Yuan Changqing said, okay, we are all a family, so why are you being so polite? Yu Yan, I left in a bit of a hurry this time, so I didn't say hello to you in advance. Wang Yuyan said, I hope you are all fine, and Brother Changqing, didn't you ask Fei Yan to send back a letter? After I read the letter, I am not so worried about you. I was just afraid that you wouldn't see us when you got home, and I was in a bit of a hurry at that time, so I wrote you this letter to avoid you worrying. Wang Yuyan asked again, then you guys came back after leaving for so long. Has the matter with Fei Yan's family been resolved? Catherine said, it's all solved. And, Sister Yuyan, do you know? Not only has Douluo Bo's own problems been solved this time, but he has also been promoted to a quasi-title Douluo. After we come back to rest for a few days, we will go looking for him together. Soul Ring. Yuan Changqing added, yes, and I just wrote a letter to my family and informed my sister-in-law and uncle that we will meet directly at Qingdao town. Wang Yuyan said, do you need me to go with you this time? No, you just stay at home and watch Qinglan, Hailan and the others. We can't all go. Thinking that there were many people at home, Yuan Changqing asked Wang Yuyan to stay at home. Star Town, Yuan Changqing, Catherine, Douluo and his son set off directly from Tiandou City and arrived at Qingdao Town, where they found their sister-in-law and uncle who had arrived in advance. Yuan Changqing introduced Douluo and his son, Old Poison. This beautiful lady is my sister-in-law Yuan Linglong, and the person next to her is my little uncle Yi Xiaofan. Later, he introduced Douluo Bo to his sister-in-law and uncle, and said, sister-in-law, this elder is Douluo Bo. He is now a quasi-title Douluo. The person next to him is Douluo Xian. They are father and son. My sister-in-law exclaimed, wow, Mr. Douluo, you are actually a title Douluo. This is the first time in my life that I have seen a live title Douluo. That when Yuan Changqing and the others heard what their sister-in-law said, they were all stunned, with questions on their foreheads. Who is this? Where is this? After being stunned for a long time, everyone couldn't help laughing. Ha ha ha. Douluo Bo also smiled and said to Yuan Changqing, Changqing, it seems that your sister-in-law is quite funny. Ahem, what's that? You're an old poisoner. Just get used to it. Afterwards, Douluo Bo and his son, his sister-in-law and his wife said hello to each other, so that everyone knew each other, and then everyone entered the hotel and started chatting together. Now Douluo Bo also saw the strength of his sister-in-law and his wife, and was a little surprised. He didn't expect that the strength of Yuan Changqing's family was so high. Douluo Bo looked at Yuan Changqing and said, Changqing, I didn't expect that your sister-in-law and uncle are both soul saints. Plus you and Catherine, your family is quite powerful. Yuan Changqing was also happy when he heard this, and said modestly, hee, it's okay, it's all the result of everyone's hard work. Guxin interjected at this time, Brother Yuan, what you said is a bit unreasonable. Is this the result of hard work? Your family is still so young and you have such strength. How can this be embarrassing for others? If you work hard with such strength, please give me some such effort. Douluo Bo also nodded, expressing that he agreed very much with this. He also wanted to know how Yuan Changqing's family practiced, but he also knew that it was better not to ask questions that he shouldn't ask. Yuan Changqing also knew that Douluo Bo and his son did not believe it, but he did not explain anything because everyone understood it tacitly. Yuan Changqing changed the topic to save everyone from embarrassment, and said, Old Poison, Brother Douluo, let's rest in this small town for one night today and set off again tomorrow. Douluo Bo said, okay, that's it. Everyone is tired after coming all the way. Let's rest for a night and recuperate. The soul beasts we need to find this time are relatively strong, and it will take a lot of time to find them. Then, everyone had a meal together and went back to the reserved room to rest. Outside the Star Do forest, Yuan Changqing and others came here again. Yuan Changqing said, Old Poison, what should we do? Douluo Bo said, this time we don't know how long it will take to find a suitable soul ring, and we have to go deep into the forest. We should form a formation before setting off. I am the strongest and will open the way in front. Then Yi Xiaofan will follow me, Yuan Linglong and Douluo Xian will go in the middle, Changqing, you and Catherine will take the rear. Yuan Changqing said, okay, that's it, everyone be careful. Then, everyone entered the star forest according to their arranged positions, quickly passed through the outer area where the century-old and thousand-year soul beasts were found, and headed towards the area of the 10,000-year soul beast. When looking for soul beasts this time, everyone did not consider who to look for first, because the soul beasts to be hunted this time were relatively old, and it also depended on luck. Everyone is also experienced in finding soul beasts in the forest, so they have made corresponding arrangements in the process. A few days later, everyone unknowingly arrived at a desert-like place with short, sparse trees and rugged rocks. It was nothing like other places in the Star Forest, with towering trees and lush greenery. Yuan Changqing and others carefully observed their surroundings. Generally, they would see such weird places in the Star Forest, and they were not good places. Therefore, Yuan Changqing warned everyone, please be careful. The terrain and landforms here are too strange to appear in the Star Forest. Douluo Bo discovered it after being reminded by Yuan Changqing, and also thought of a possibility, which was inherited and recorded by the Douluo family. Douluo Bo said, Changqing is right, maybe there is a soul beast suitable for my soul ring here. Douluo Xian said, Dad, how did you know that there is a suitable one here? Chapter 80 Promotion. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Everyone was also curious about Douluo Xian's question and were waiting to see what Douluo Bo would say. Douluo Bo reprimanded Douluo Xian, this is also the secret of my Douluo family. Also, Xianer, haven't you read the books passed down from the family? You still want to ask me? Douluo Xian said with some embarrassment, ahem, there are so many books in the family, and I can't read them all. Also, I wasn't in good health before, so I didn't have the energy to read them. Douluo Bo sighed and said, oh, forget it, I won't talk about you anymore. You are fine now. I still want to look at more things passed down by the family in the future. I know, Dad. Douluo Xian also knew that he was poisoned, so he didn't pay too much attention to other things and focused on finding ways to detoxify. Later, Douluo Bo told everyone, the topography here is very similar to the place where a soul beast appeared in my family's records, so I said that there might be a soul beast with the soul ring I need here. Hearing what Douluo Bo said, Yuan Changqing also made a guess. He knew from the original work that Douluo Bo's 9th soul ring came from Medusa, so he also thought about why the topography here is like this. So, Yuan Changqing asked, Old Poisoner, don't be too pretentious. Tell everyone quickly so that everyone can be prepared. Douluo Bo said again, when you enter this place later, everyone should be careful. According to my family's records, there is very likely a kind of Medusa spirit beast here. The attack of this kind of spirit beast can be avoided as long as you are accidentally attacked. If it hits the target, it will be petrified. Douluo Bo looked at everyone again and said, so, if there is really a Medusa here, everyone should be careful later. Good. After Yuan Changqing and others responded, the group began to enter the gobi-like place here, searching carefully to see if they could find any trace of Medusa. After Yuan Changqing and the others entered, they found no other soul beasts. It seemed that this was indeed the territory of a soul beast that was not sure whether it was Medusa or not. Arriving at the center of this place, what appeared in front of everyone was a hill and a cave. It seemed that the soul beast was in this cave. Yuan Changqing said, Old poisonous creature, what should I do? Douluo Bo is in the control system, so he is very familiar with what to do next. Douluo Bo arranged for everyone to say, Yi Xiaofan, you can send out a burst of soul power into the cave first, then directly rise into the air, and then find an opportunity to attack. Yuan Linglong will cooperate with you. Changqing, you and I will cooperate, and then Catherine and Deguxin will cooperate. We will divide into 3 groups to attack. After Douluo Bo made arrangements, the 3 groups of people all controlled and strengthened their attacks, making it easy to cooperate. Seeing everyone taking their positions, Douluo Bo reminded him again, everyone, be careful. Yi Xiaofan is ready to attack. The 4th soul skill, fire feathers fill the sky. After Yi Xiaofan launched his soul skill, he directly took off into the air and saw the flaming feathers shooting into the cave. Hiss. Then, a hissing scream was heard, and everyone came to a strange snake with a snake body, a human head, and a head full of small snakes crawling out of the cave. This strange appearance and the screaming sound made everyone's skin crawl. It was very scary. Douluo Bo said happily, everyone, be careful, this is Medusa, don't be attacked by it. The 4th soul skill, double golden shields. The 5th soul skill, flame feather shield. The 6th soul skill, blue silver diamond shield. The fifth soul skill, snake python Tiangang shield. Thinking of what Douluo Bo said about Medusa's soul skills, everyone started to defend themselves, and then began to attack. Medusa also screamed at everyone while using her soul skills to attack them. Medusa's eyes emitted rays of silver light, which were blocked by everyone's defensive soul skills. Not to be outdone, everyone attacked Medusa one after another. The eighth soul skill, freeze time. Douluo Bo directly used his strongest soul skills to imprison Medusa. Then, everyone seized the opportunity and used their soul skills to attack Medusa. The fourth soul skill, blade storm. The sixth soul skill, double wing slash. The sixth soul skill, jade phosphorus python breaking, Douluo Xian. The sixth soul skill, soaring pillar of fire. The fifth soul skill, blue silver bite. The sixth soul skill, jade phosphorus snake emperor break. After Yuan Changqing and others were imprisoned by Medusa, they also used their special soul skills. Various soul skills were used to attack Medusa as if they were free of charge. After all, Medusa is a soul beast that has been around for more than 70,000 years, and it is also a very rare soul beast. Its strength cannot be underestimated. It didn't take long for her to break free, but she was beaten badly, and the snake was still covered in it. Bleed, Medusa was also angered, and her tail swept directly towards everyone, and everyone on the ground quickly avoided it. The little snakes with their heads also attacked. Yuan Changqing and the others also used defensive soul skills to defend. Catherine and Yi Xiaofan were maneuverable and began to fight back against Medusa. The fourth soul skill, fire feathers fill the sky. The fifth soul skill, spiral strangulation. Medusa was hit, which also gave everyone a chance, and Douluo Bo once again used his most powerful soul skill. The eighth soul skill, freeze time. Yuan Changqing saw this and said, "Quick, let's continue to attack while Medusa can't move." The sixth soul skill, soaring pillar of fire. The fifth soul skill, sword of ice. Hiss. After everyone's cooperation, they continued to attack Medusa. Seeing that Medusa could not hold on for long, she let out a miserable scream, and also used a big move to deliver the final blow. Medusa's gaze rushed towards Yuan Changqing. Catherine saw it in the air and shouted quickly, "Husband, be careful." When Yuan Changqing saw this, he had no time to think about it and directly used his defensive soul skills. The sixth soul skill, the 6 layers of defense of the blue silver diamond shield. That I saw 6 shields in front of Yuan Changqing arranged in layers in front of Yuan Changqing, but they were still easily broken by Medusa's gaze, and he was about to be hit. Fortunately, Catherine swooped down from the air in time, grabbed Yuan Changqing and flew into the air. And narrowly escaped. The sixth soul skill, jade phosphorus snake emperor break. Douluo Bo saw Medusa deliver a death blow and attack Yuan Changqing, and also used her soul skill to attack Medusa, killing it. After dealing with Medusa, Douluo Bo felt relieved when he saw Yuan Changqing was rescued. Douluo Bo said, "I didn't expect that Medusa could deliver such a violent blow at the end." "Changqing, are you okay?" Yuan Changqing said, "It's okay. Fortunately, Catherine reminded me that I defended myself at the end and was saved by Catherine again. This time it was also thrilling. I didn't expect Medusa to come in the end." My sister-in-law and uncle also came over, touched Yuan Changqing and said, "It's okay if it's okay, it's okay if it's okay." Seeing everyone gathered around with concerned expressions on their faces, Yuan Changqing had no choice but to say, "Okay, I'm fine. Now everyone's soul power has been consumed a lot, so please recover quickly." Then he said to Douluo Bo, "Old poison, you should quickly restore your soul power and absorb the soul ring. It's no longer safe if there is such a big commotion here." Good. Afterwards, some people began to recover their soul power, while others continued to observe the surroundings and protect everyone.